Prapanna parijataya totravitraikapanai jnanamudraya krishnaya Gitamritaduhe namaha.
Om Prapanna parijataya totravitraikapanai jnanamudraya krishnaya Gitamritaduhe namaha. We are studying Srimad Bhagavad Gita with Shankar's commentary, and last 2 or 3 classes I have been trying to explain 18th shloka of the 4th chapter. And yet it is difficult, no doubt. And because it is difficult, therefore only Bhagavan is taking so much trouble to explain it to Arjuna. And what is the difficulty? Difficult means it is very deep in our personality. Now some people have complained that they are not able to understand, and they have tried to very simplify it. That when we do work, we do with desire, and if we do it without desire, then it is karma yoga. It is not so simple, please. In the 2nd chapter, we have been taught karma yoga. In the 3rd chapter, we have been taught karma yoga. And in 4th chapter, we are going very deep. In the 2nd chapter, we are told likes and dislikes, ninda stuti, man apman, all these duels are in the world, but without getting affected by them, we have to work. Can we call it only with desire, without desire? No. In the 3rd chapter, we are told select sacrificial works, which sacrifices your ego, which sacrifices your selfishness. And in the 4th, we are going still deep. Okay, so I will try to explain from the beginning. Suppose they call it without desire. Now, we start a work without desire. But expectations go. One day I told by Sharvananji's example, Shakrananji's example. So, we are doing work without desire. But expectations grow, na? That people should call me good, people should call me a worker without desire. Not only that, if I am doing without desire, means what? I am doing for somebody. Na? Work cannot be done in the air. All our works are our relation with somebody. Now, so it has to be translated as unselfish work. We are not doing for ourselves. We are doing for somebody. Expectations grow. Attachment, without attachment is the word, not without desire. Because you might have experienced this. In our normal life, we expect, he is my father, he should do this for me. He is my son, so he should do this for me. He is my friend. Why he did not invite me when he went there? I have my own experiences of youth. I had a friend, and he went to see a badminton match, All India, and he did not tell me. I was feeling so much disturbed for one whole day. Why did not invite me? Why did not tell that he is going? So expectations are there in our mind. Then, suppose we have no expectation. Then, ego. Main problem is ego. I am doing this unselfish work. I am doing this without expectation. So this ego is a great problem. So what Shankaracharya says, for normal karma yoga, without selfishness, without desire, without expectation, without ego, and dedicated to God. Till we are dedicating it to God, it is not karma yoga. It is not my work. I have given it to God. Let him decide. I have no desire for fruit. I have no right on the fruit. It is for him whether to give me fruit or not. So, from that side, so many considerations come. But in this fourth chapter, the fundamental problem is taken, I am the doer or I am not the doer. That is the thing deciding here, not desire or that. Whether I am the doer of this work? No. Now, this itself can be cultivated in two different ways. Karma itself has no base. Through bhakti or through jnanam. How through bhakti? Bhakti means I have complete faith in the Saguna Ishwar. Srishti Sthiti Pralaya Karta Ishwar. Sarvajna Sarva Shaktiman Parama Karunik Ishwar. So who is the doer? I told you several stories that even a leaf of a tree does not move without his will. Have you got this idea? So, what is our consciousness? What is our idea in that work? That is the main question here. If the idea is I am the doer, you are failure. If the idea is he is the doer, then I do not stand as doer. That is karmani akarma pashe. Now there are others who don't pay much attention to this Saguni Ishwar. They are called jnanis. They have firm faith in the Nirguna Ishwar. Then their idea will be Indriyas are acting in objects. I am not involved there. So in both the cases, I am not doer is the main idea in the fourth chapter. I am not the doer. Through jnanam, there is no work. Indriyas are acting on objects. I is not involved there. Through bhakti, he is the doer, not I. So either of these ideas, and we in this Ramakrishna age are fortunate to understand both these ideas, and so we can combine both these ideas also. If there is any doer, he is the doer. Actually, there is no doer. This can be our idea. So, this is being taught in the 18th shloka. Karmani akarma yah pashet. Pashet means cultivation of that idea, cultivation of that consciousness that I am not the doer. So, akarma. Akarma means I am not the doer. Karmani, apparently I am doing. Apparently I am doing. Really, I am not the doer. Either because God is the doer or because there is no karma at all. Indriyas functioning with the object. So, that is the main point. Cultivation, this consciousness does not come suddenly. It has to be cultivated. So, this cultivation of the consciousness, and then there are several layers and levels of this non-doership. That also I give example. That some month will tell you, I did this, I did this, I did that. Some people will say, they do. I have given them ideas only. So this also your doer. No type of I am the doer will be allowed. Then within this, I feel I have gone beyond the idea of doership. But just now I have shown within all the layers a hidden idea that I am the doer is involved. In spite of my attempt to cultivate the consciousness that I am not the doer, I am the doer is very much ingrained in our personality, very much ingrained. So that has to be detected by introspection. This is the 18th shloka. 18th shloka does not talk about the details, which has already been told in 2nd and 3rd chapter. If you want that, Nishkam, then Niswartha, Nishkam, Nirapeksha, Nirahankar, Ishvara Arpana Buddhya. So many things come there. They are all in the mind. But what is the basic idea behind all that? What is selfishness? I am the doer. I want the fruit. And anasakta, unattached. How unattachment will come? I am not the doer. Then where is the question of attachment? The world itself is false. We have been told in the 2nd chapter, base of all this thought in the Gita, na sato vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate sata. So world is unreal totally. Where I am to say I am the doer? So the fundamental problem, if we go by those adjuncts, then we have to think, work without desire, without selfishness, without attachment, without the narrowness. Because this I keeps things narrow. Example I will give. If somebody in great distress is there and asking you money, hey, you beggar, get out. And somebody with whom you are attached, he comes at that point, whether you have or not, you give him 1,000 rupees. Is this unselfish? Because you are attached to somebody, if that somebody comes that very point, have you not seen this? Some is in great distress. He is undergoing for some treatment in the hospital and he is not able to pay the bill. And he wants little help from you, but he is distant, so I don't care. Go to some other place. And at the same point, somebody whom you love, attached to, he comes and says, will you give me 1,000 rupees? I have to purchase this thing. For just his fancy. And you immediately give him 1,000 rupees. I will tell my own story, a funny story, not like this. In a laboratory, in my B.Sc class, physics laboratory, where chemistry or physics, no, chemistry laboratory. I was doing some experiment. And perhaps I was still there, my writing, I don't remember that, but perhaps my writing was over. And next to me, my friend was doing. A girl from the opposite corner, she came. For what? She asked me, will you please give me your pen? I said, I don't give my pen to anybody. She went back. And my friend at that very time, without even looking at me, raised his left hand, pen, pen, and I took my pen and gave to him. So, it is not easy to work. I've shown you an example of attachment. So, it is very deep. And because it is very deep, God is telling us. The fundamental question is whether you are the doer or not. If you are doer, then you are getting more and more entangled. You will never come out of it. Because if you are doer, automatically that result and attachment and everything comes there. But if you are not the doer, none of these things are coming. God is doing. You are not concerned at all. You are working very sincerely. It is not slipshod work. But you are not the doer. God is the doer. That is the idea. It is not easy. It has to be slowly, with great effort and great many days. It has to be cultivated slowly, gradually. It will become your consciousness. Idea becomes your consciousness if it is cultivated assiduously for many days together. That is from 18 to 24 shloka. And this is the idea. Now, this is called Pashet. Karmani akarma ya Pashet. Outside, karma is going on definitely. Apparently, you are doing. But in reality, you are cultivating the idea that I am not the doer, either through knowledge or through bhakti. And then, but inside your mind, in the depth of your mind, I am the doer is ingrained. And so you have to keep your introspection awake always and see that, oh, you were attached, you had fruit, you had ego, you quarreled with somebody because ego. So again try for cultivating that consciousness. This also I told. Karma Yogi, Sardan Swamiji says, has a morning meditation and an evening meditation. Morning meditation means he intensely tries to feel and prays to God, make me your instrument, make me cultivate the idea that you are the doer, I am not the doer, I am simply an instrument. I is there, but only an instrument. Now this Maya or whatever, obstruction is only I. And this I has two levels. I the doer and I the experiencer. So long as I am the doer, I am experiencing the world. When I am the doer is gone, then only I experience God. And when I am able to experience God, then also I am the experiencer remains. That is Jnana Nishtha. But when we go deeper and deeper into God, then this I, the experiencer, also vanishes. Am I the experiencer? God is the experiencer. Only God alone is the experiencer in all the minds. That is Jnana-Nishtha. So, purification by karma means I am the doer is lost. I am the doer is lost, so I am the experiencer of the world also is lost, but I am the experiencer of God remains. That is Jnanam. That is Jnana-Nishtha. And when in this Jnana-Nishtha, I am the experiencer, also it goes away because the realization comes that he is the experiencer in all the people. I am not the experiencer, you are not the experiencer. This talk will not do. This consciousness has to be cultivated. That is called Jnana-Nishtha. Then the final knowledge comes. So, this is the lesson of the 18th shloka. And then only Bhagavan says, so buddhiman manusheshu. This is the real intelligence of a man, not this crooked, calculating intelligence by which people try to cheat others and collect money. That is not intelligence. That is making you drowned in the world. The real intelligence is to cultivate the consciousness, to understand, to feel, to realize that you are not the doer. So buddhiman manushya. So yukta, then only you will be called a sadhak. Then only you are sincerely attempting to go to God. So it is yukta. Krishna karma krut is the present tense talk of future. That why you are doing karma? For chitta shuddhi. Now suppose your chitta becomes shuddha, then you have done all the work necessary. So Krishna karma krut means the talking in present tense of the process which leads you to that point that no more you are the doer. Then only you have done all your work. So this is the 18th shloka. Now, with this 18th shloka, one starts. Then 19th shloka is the functioning of this is all consciousness. So the functioning of this in the 19th shloka is that yasya sarve samarambha kama sankalpa varjita jnanagni dagda karmanam tamahu panditam buddha. So kama and sankalpa varjita is the outside thing. But why? Jnanagni dagda karmanam. This consciousness being cultivated has burnt all his doership. The cultivation of the consciousness is side by side burning your doership. That is sarva karmanam, jnanagni dagda karmanam. Tamahu panditam buddha. So external description, kama sankalpa varjita. Inner consciousness, jnana agni dagda karmanam. Jnana means I am not the doer, this is the jnana. And this jnana has burned all your doership. So he is called the really wise man. In all the works, that means work are going on. Maybe for his body only, maybe for good of the people also. Both types of people are shown here how the consciousness functions in them. Then we get two separate people. 20 and 23 is one type of people. What are they? They are doing work. Public good or whatever you say, yajna, for God, some work they are doing. But the cultivation of consciousness is going on that I am not the doer in this. That is one type. There Acharya says that due to some reason he is not able to give up. We said that is his constitution. Now man's mind is primarily made of thinking, feeling, will. There are hundreds of other faculties. Aitari Upanishad and Brihadaranyaka 10 or 15 functions of the mind. But Western analysis is thinking, feeling, and will, and they are the major contributory functions of the mind. So through thinking, I am not the doer because there is no work. Through feeling, I am not the doer because God is the doer. This is the bhakti and that is the jnana. Thinking leads to jnana, that I am not the doer, there is no work at all. It is only indriya teshu vardante. And through feeling, through love, God is the doer, I am not the doer. So, sankalpa is seen in work. But his sankalpa goes away due to jnana or due to bhakti. That is why kama sankalpa varjita. And in 20, taktva karma phala sangam, attachment he has given up in the fruits of work, nitya trupto, this all description of his inner consciousness, nirashraya, does not take support of anybody in his life itself, karmani pravritta, that means circling outside, means some work he has taken up. Maybe lokasangrartha, maybe good of the people, maybe worship of God. In Ramakrishna Mission, you see so many work, so many different types of work. Somebody is doing puja, somebody is helping the pujari, somebody is doing accounts, somebody is going and doing relief work. People like me are only giving lectures. But in all that, if he has given up karma phala sangha, nitya trupta due to knowledge or devotion. Nirashraya due to devotion. So the question is, the consciousness being cultivated functions in his life in spite of his working. And this very thing is developed further in the Shloka 23, Gata Sangasya Muktasya is called Mukta already. Jnana Vasita Chaitasa, because his mind is stable in the knowledge, vimat or devotion. Yajnaya for sacrifice, acharata karma, samagram praviliyate. It does not produce any sanskar in him. It does not produce the idea I am the doer in him. It does not produce any fruit of it. It goes away and he becomes pure and rises in the Jnana Nishtha. On the other hand, these are mostly householders or we, Ramakrishna Mission monks. Otherwise, there are other sannyasis. You might have seen them. They do not do any work. They are described in 21 and 22. Nivritta Jnana Nishta. That means they are not doing anything. Perhaps they are meditating. They are deep in meditation because the consciousness is coming in them that they are not the doer. And so they have gone to the depth of meditation. And in that meditation, they are necessitated to beg for food because they do not keep anything with him. Can we apply it to the Ramakrishna Mission Swamis? No, because we are working apparently. But there are other Swamis, or maybe within Ramakrishna Mission also, absolutely no belonging. Amra Gashtalai Sadhu, that is a common saying. We are monks living under a tree. We do not require anything. That should be the attitude. Even in Ramakrishna Mission. Suppose somebody is taken up everything of yours. Can you exist or not? So these type of people, Shankara has shown that not necessary that they go for begging. The further advanced is that they stay where they are. That is called Akasha Vritti or Ajgara Vritti. If something comes to them by chance, they take it. Friends, I have practiced it throughout my life, especially 3 months in Rishikesh. I did not go out of the kutia. 3 days, 2-3 times it happened that 3 days together I did not have a particle of food, only Ganges water drinking. On the other side, 3 days food I have eaten in 1 day. Because in that case, whatever comes, you finish. Not only that, I can tell you many funny stories. I had no social contact, but the neighbors are keeping an eye. And they think this man is not going outside these days for making food or for anything. He must be cooking himself. But then, what he has, let us supply him some change of taste. I am telling facts. Somebody gave me 1 jar or 1 bottle full of mango pickles. And in those days, the condition of my stomach was such that I could not touch anything pungent. But it has come, I ate the whole thing in one sitting. Then whole day, drink Ganges water. Somebody on another day gave me 1 jar full of sugar and I finished it in one sitting. Someday, I remember because of that special thing, devotees were coming. And that was the season of what we call the Langda mango. And 17 Langda mangoes I ate in 1 day. Nothing else. That is balance. In 1 week, it gets balance. So, that is also there, not necessarily begging food. Yadricha lava santushta. Let me tell you a story of one day. I can only say some work was being done in the Kutia area. Some stones or pebbles or they were being plain. So some people had come and seen me in the work. That much I know. Now we used to close our gates at evening fall, 7 or like that. Night 10 o'clock, there was a knock on the back door. I went there. Who is there? The voice said, "You need not open the door. Please raise your hands above the gate." So I raised my hand. And somebody was there. He dropped one full loaf of bread and one butter packet and went away. I do not know who. These are the sannyasis. So, understand? Because I'm not telling this out of ego, as an example that this is, I'm not the doer. I don't care whether I live or not. If God wills, I'll tell another funny story then. When I was starting from Belur Math to go to Rishikesh, my friend, one of a dignified Swami, now I can tell his name, Swami Suhitananju is now vice president. He told me, keep some money with you because in the Chhatras, milk is not given. And doctors say that if you do not take milk, your brain will dry or burn up. I had thought I will not take money. That became more fun that moment. I will not take any money. What the doctors know? I don't say I know more, but God knows more. In fact, God has decided to dry my brain. What can I do? So I went there. And 1 year I stayed without spending a pie on myself. So many types are there, so many levels are there. And so, sorry, I went too much personal, but example which I know. And this, Shariram Kevalam Karma Kurvan, I was talking back. I had no books with me. One Gita was there. Anyway, Nirashi Yata Chittatma Takta Sarva Parigraha is the example. When I was leaving, I had one small carpet with me, one set of clothes. Anyway, let us not go into detail. Takta Sarva Parigraha Shariram Kevalam Karma Kurvan. I begged my food for 5 months, but then I stopped. Napnoti kilvisham yadrichalava santushto dvandatito vimatsaraha samasiddhau asiddhau cha kritvapi na nibadyate. So two types of people have been described. One who does not do anything except for need of his body. The other is doing some good of the people. Both have shown. So this culminates in the 24th shloka. I hope now it is very clear. The idea or the consciousness is being cultivated that I am not the doer. That includes all your nishkam and nirapeksha and everything. And this consciousness being cultivated either by one who is constitutionally, or as Shankar says, due to some reason is not able to give up work, so he is engaged in some work. Same time he is cultivating the consciousness that I am not the doer. Externally work is being done. Or the other who has given up everything and only depends on more fully on God for even his existence. So two types, pravritta jnananishta, nivrutta jnananishta. And that culminates in Shloka 24 when he has realized he is not the doer. When he has realized everything is Brahman, and symbolically it has been described through a yajna, because yajna was taken as the supreme work, either for gods or whatever, Lokasangra. So yajna was taken as the best example of work. And so through that language it has been described that one type he is doing yajna. You see he is doing yajna. He is lighting the fire. He is using a spoon to put that ghee in the fire. He is doing that. That is what you see. But in his consciousness, now that idea has become actual consciousness, that it is Brahman, that fire is Brahman, that spoon is Brahman. This has become actually his consciousness. The offering is Brahman. The person offering is Brahman. Then what will happen to that man? He will surely go to Brahman. He is not going somewhere. Huh? Go means he will realize his identity with Brahman. One type. The other type, he is not doing anything. Sitting on this meditation. So you will say, why is not doing some good of the people? Is he selfish? Is he sin? No. His consciousness, Brahma consciousness itself is the spoon. Brahma consciousness, he has no spoon, huh? But described in the form of a yajna, being done by the man of realization. His very existence is a blessing to society. That is what Swami Vivekananda has described. So he exists, but his existence itself, because of his consciousness of identity with Brahman, everything for him is Brahman. So you can see he is doing yajna. Without him doing yajna, why he is not doing yajna? He is doing. His consciousness that all is Brahman itself has taken the form of a spoon in his mind. Itself has taken the form of ghee, instead has taken the form of fire. Itself has taken the form of the action of giving. Itself taken the form of his own form. Where will such man go? He is established in Brahman itself. These two types were described in the 24th shloka. And we were studying some remaining portion of the commentary of the 24th shloka, and that is due to some poor logic, illogic being in our brain itself. And so I go back to here. Tatha cha darshitam कर्मणि अकर्मय पश्येत कर्मणि अप्रवृत्तोपि नैव किंचित करोति सा गुणागुणेषु वर्तन्ते नैव किंचित करोमि इति युक्तो मन्येत तत्त्वति इत्यादि भी. So this consciousness तथा च दर्शयन् तत्र तत्र क्रिया कारक फल भेद बुद्धि उपमर्दम करोति. This destroys the difference consciousness, that doer, thing, karaka, phala, all this Veda Buddhi is being destroyed because he is conscious that God is the doer, or because he is conscious that there is nothing called work. Now here we read, Drashtacha kamya agnyotrado kamopamardena kamya agnyotradi hani. He is giving some examples that work and its fruit depend upon the consciousness behind. It is not only the action, but the consciousness by which it is done. So some people are doing Agnihotra because they have desires. So it becomes desire-wala Agnihotra. But some people can do that Agnihotra without any desire. So that is without desire. Fruits will be different, that is the thing. Fruits of an Agnihotra done with desires may be Swarga. Fruits of an Agnihotra done without desire may be purification of the mind. तथा मतिपूर्वक अमतिपूर्वकादीनां कर्मणां कार्यविशेषस्य आरंभकत्वं दृष्टम्. Now reflex action is there sometimes. And sometimes a deliberate action is there. There also the result will be different. If there is a reflex action, mosquito sits and you hit him. You are not getting the sin of killing the mosquito. But deliberately you see mosquito and smash it, then you are the murderer. So, with doer consciousness, without doer consciousness, results will be different. So he has shown various examples of idea behind work gives you the result, not the work itself. In the Kathopanishad, yatha karma yatha shrutam, he gets somebody according to his karma, according to his consciousness in that karma. So that is being shown in these 3-4 examples. Kamya Agnihotra example, Mati Purvaka, Amati Purvaka example. तथा ये अपि ब्रह्म बुद्धि उपमृदित अर्पणादि कारक क्रिया फल भेद बुद्धे बाह्य चेष्टा मात्रेण कर्म अपि विदुषा अकर्म संपद्यते. So with this example he is telling here also the vidwan ब्रह्म बुद्धि उपमृदित अर्पणादि कारक क्रिया फल भेद बुद्धे. Arpana, Karaka, Kriya, Phala, Bheda, Buddhi is there, but duty is Brahma Buddhi. All this is gone and it becomes Akarma. So in 24th shloka, it is the culmination, everything has become Akarma for him. Ata Uktam Samagram Praviliyate iti. That was told in the 22nd, that in 23rd, that he was doing karma, yajnaya, but along with the fruit, it has all gone. So now, some other wrong idea some people have due to their addiction to karma, doership. So that Shankar will throw out. Let us read that. Atra kechid ahu yad brahma tad arpanadini brahma eva kila arpanadina panchavidena karakatmana vyavasthitam sat tad eva karma karvati. Tatra na arpanadi buddhi nivartate kintu arpanadishu brahma buddhi adhiyate. So some people think this is a type of upasana where he makes the idea that this arpana is Brahman, that is Brahman, that is Brahman. So in that Brahma buddhi is there, but he has not removed his arpana buddhi. He knows in his consciousness this is a spoon, but superimposes on this that it is Brahman. So it shows that it is not superimposition, but cultivation of knowledge is different from mental superimposition. So some people think it is just superimposition. There, it is spoon and all that, that consciousness does not go. Only it is Brahman is superimposed on that. Yatha pratimado Vishnadi buddhi, yatha va namado Brahma buddhi. Examples are that we take a Shaligram Shila and worship it as Vishnu. Our consciousness that is Shaligram Shila has not gone there. We keep it, we do it, everything as a Shaligram Shila. But we are worshipping Vishnu, so we are using that to put our idea of Vishnu on that. Similarly, name is Brahman, they say name is Brahman. So we are repeating name. We are aware that we are repeating the name. We count also that name. But we make a superimposition that we are doing Brahman only. So superimposition, subtle difference. Superimposition is different from change of consciousness. In superimposition, that thing remains in our mind, plus God is added there. In change of consciousness, that thing has gone, only God remains. This is some people's idea. Satyam evam api syat yadi jnana yajna stutyartham prakaranam na syat. He said we would have accepted this, that this shloka means that. If it was not the stuti of jnana yajna, that is coming further now, with that help he is telling. He is telling that the Gita further will tell us there are various types of yajnas, but jnana yajna is superior, where the consciousness is changed. So we are praising here the cultivation of consciousness. And so this superimposition idea is not accepted. अत्र तो सम्यक दर्शनम ज्ञान यज्ञ शब्दितम अनेकान यज्ञ शब्दितान क्रिया विशेषान उपन्यास्य श्रेयान द्रव्यमयाद यज्ञान ज्ञान यज्ञ इति ज्ञानस्तोति. Here in the end of the chapter, it will say that so many yajnas are done with some material. Here, no material. Jnana itself is that material, jnana itself is that yajna, that is superior. So that jnana yajna is being praised here. Culture of consciousness is being praised. The efficacy of culture of consciousness is your Brahmajnan, not some yajna you are doing with material that gives you little rays of consciousness. Unselfishness a little increases. अत्र च समर्थम इदम वचनम ब्रह्मार्पणम इत्यादि ज्ञानस्य यज्ञत्व संपादने अन्यथा सर्वस्य ब्रह्मत्वे अर्पणादीनामेव विशेषतः ब्रह्मत्व अभिधानम अनर्थकम स्यात्. Another point Shankar says, here what is meant is that everything is Brahman. Not only this yajna thing. Yajna thing is taken as a representative or a symbol. Otherwise, the meaning of the shloka means only that arpana and that ghee is Brahman, not other things of the world. Then that is not correct. If this is taken as a representative of all activities, then it is the real praise of jnana. Otherwise, if it is limited to yajna only, then you are arpana and that only are Brahman, not other. Puja, people do puja with this idea. This is Brahman, that is not Brahman. It is not like that. ये तो अर्पणादिषु प्रतिमायां विष्णु दृष्टिवत् ब्रह्म दृष्टि क्षिप्यते नामादिषु इव च इति ब्रुवते न तेषां ब्रह्म विद्या उक्ता विवक्षिता स्यात् अर्पणादि विषयत्वात् ज्ञानस्य. Those who say it is only superimposition, for them this shloka is only superimposition about yajna, not the consciousness has not changed. If the consciousness changes, then the whole world is Brahman. You are Brahman, the world is Brahman, not only yajna things. So if you apply a superimposition, then only yajna becomes Brahman. Nacha drishti sampadana jnanena moksha phalam prapyate brahmaiva tena gantavyam iti cha uchyate. So if you are superimposition on that yajna things, then that will not lead you to final knowledge. That will give you a little rays of consciousness, little devotion. Brahmaiva tena gantavyam will have no meaning then. Viruddham cha samyak darshanam antarena moksha phalam prapyate iti. And without that right knowledge, he gets moksha, is meaningless. It is self-contradictory. Prakruta virodhacha, and see the running context. There also you will find this opposition. Samyak darshanam cha prakrutam, the whole chapter, karmani akarma, it was about right knowledge, right consciousness. कर्मणि अकर्म यः पश्येदिति अत्र अन्ते च सम्यक् दर्शनं तस्य उपसंहारः. At the end of the chapter, jnana is being told. Here also jnana was told. So the context is right knowledge, not superimposition. Shreyan dravyamaya yajna jnana yajna jnanam labdva param shantim ityadina samyak darshana stutim eva kurvan upakshina adhyaya. The whole adhyaya exhausts itself by doing praise of samyak darshan, by telling its function in life, that everything goes away and he becomes Brahman. That is what at the end of the chapter also it is told. Tatra akasmat arpanado brahma drishti aprakarane pratimayam eva vishnu drishti uchyate iti anubhavam. So suddenly you bring a topic of superimposition. Namadi Vishnu, Brahma Buddhi, Arpanadi, Brahma Buddhi. So it has Anupapannam. This is illogical. Tasmat Yatha Vakya Arthartha Eva Ayam Shloka. So this shloka, the meaning as we have explained in two ways. The non-functioning Brahma, meditating, or doing work for the good of the people, change of consciousness inside, and these both culminate here. A Brahmajnani, that is how we are described, and that is how 24th shloka should be taken. So, I think today, again, taking the other things for granted, 18 shloka was explained, and progress up to 24th shloka in two different streams was told, and 24th shloka is the culmination of all. So I hope 18 shloka has been, and further shlokas have been really explained. Doership buddhi and non-doership buddhi. And introspection, that doership buddhi has not yet gone, it is still there. So again, apply the non-doership buddhi till it culminates. Om Prapanna Parijataya Totra Vetra Ekapanaya Jnanamudraya Krishnaya Gita Amrita Duhe Namaha. Om Shanti 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 Hare Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpana.
Prapanna Parijataya Totra Vitraikapanai Jnanamudraya Krishnaya Gita Amrita Duhe Namaha.